Hey, welcome back. If you're here, this is Uncertain. I am D.O. Hughley. I would like to say a happy Father's Day. You can't, I hope everybody had a good Father's Day. I had a Father's Day that was pretty good because I didn't have to pay for a lot of people pretending like they were getting gifts for me. But I actually was in New York and I went to see Cedric the Entertainer and Taraji Henson in August Wilson's play Joe Turner's Come and Gone. And Cedric's one of my best friends. He's one of my dearest friends. So I went to see. I would have went to see the play anyway because he was in it. When I tell you he was excellent, when I tell you that play was excellent, he was so good. I actually got a cheer. I was so he was excellent. It was an excellent play. And like me and Jasmine have gone to plays and spent, but she doesn't ever buy anything. But
I'm not supposed to.
We went to see.
You're rich.
We went to see Denzel Washington. I didn't. And what was
It was Othello.
Othello.
And what happened?
And I fell asleep.
On the front row.
Yeah, but she had to pee the whole time, so it was crazy.
But he didn't know that. He didn't know I had to pee.
Yeah.
He knew you were
when you
sleeping.
have to walk past people. But the point was, it was such a good play. I didn't even fall asleep. And you've never been to dinner with me or lunch with me unless I've fallen asleep. I fall asleep so much, I should be president of the United States of America. What do you mean? What do you mean we're in a war?
Somebody dip him in that pool.
What do you mean tariffs aren't working? I was thinking about this. Do you really think that the reflecting pool was vandalized? Do you think anybody really believes that?
No.
You think anybody really believes? Do you think it was vandalized or the result of rank incompetence? Because if you look at it, this tracks with everything Trump has done. The bankruptcies, the tariffs, the handling of COVID, everything he touches turns to shit. You can't think of a thing that had a positive result. And now, the thing I used to admire about him, he would come up with extravagant lies. Haitians are eating dogs, or they stole the election, or Tifa did this. Now it's just vandals broke into the pool and scraped it all. He doesn't even have to lie well.
No.
What's more likely, that vandals snuck in and or you hired a crony and gave him a bunch of money and probably got a kickback on, and he didn't know what the fuck he was doing? What's more likely?
Well, he says he has proof.
Yes. And you know what? We'll see that proof when he shows us the proof of who's vandalizing the pool. Show us the proof of the downed airmen that you rescued. Show us the proof of January 6th being Antifa. Show us the proof of Michelle being a man. Show us all the proof you ever had to have. I don't understand how this country thinks that this man can win a war. He can't even clean a pool. And you know what? First off, you can't kick out all the Mexicans and wonder why your pool got algae in it.
That's terrible.
One thing's for sure, white dudes do not know how to clean pools. They just don't.
They don't. It is interesting, though, that he can say he has proof of vandalism for the reflection pool. So we would think he knows what it looks like after January 6th, because that was vandalism.
Right.
That was vandalism.
Right. These motherfuckers driving through the reflection pool. Did you see the picture of them driving through the reflection pool with the motorcade?
Oh, yeah, when they emptied the pool.
Now, I don't know a lot about science. I don't. I promise I don't. But peroxide...
You ain't try that bleach?
But anybody who thinks bleach can cure COVID probably thinks peroxide can cure algae.
Yeah,
for sure.
But
it does bubble, so
he's not even lying well. It's not even a good, well constructed. And why is it? Because originally the pool was supposed to be the reflection pool, and his beautification of it was supposed to be a distraction. Now it's a distraction. It really is. But what do you think it means? Iran, we're fighting Iran. Iran is top 10 in science and chemistry. They have a 94% literacy rate. We read at the 5th grade level. What do you think Iranians think when we can't? If we can't beat algae, we can't beat Iran. How the fuck don't you know that putting peroxide in with algae ain't gonna be the ticket?
I would never want to be your pool guy.
Right. I got a white pool guy. I do.
You have a white pool guy.
This is a side note. I do actually. I have a white pool guy, and he resents me too. I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Like a funny shit.
He does.
And
This motherfucker.
And you're like, don't you know peroxide and algae don't work together?
Not one person at this house swims. Not one person. Like, make sure you get that edge.
Right. You know what? Nobody's ever in my pool, so he don't have to do nothing. He just walk by. But the thing that is hilarious, we were talking a couple of weeks ago, and we were doing Karen Bass, and we were talking about the election and Spencer Pratt, and you were talking about city services, right? And so we were talking about the fact that obviously, like any city, like a lot of places in the country, LA has its problems. And one of the things was that they stole your check and opened a bank account. Right, Alex? Open your bank account, and no one ever called you. And I told the story about how a locker, a storage unit had gotten broken into. And that, they investigated, the police called me to investigate the storage unit, right? I told you that story.
Yeah.
This morning when I'm getting ready, my phone rings. It is the police detective, the LA County Sheriff, trying to make sure that we had went to the storage unit to find out if we had anything missing. So he was checking up on me.
And you ain't heard nothing from
And you
nobody.
ain't-
Nothing. You're still waiting.
He was so nice, I had to go, man, I've never had a cop do this to me.
Right.
This is the sweetest thing. So I had a cop check up on the storage locker, and you ain't had nobody check up on
all.
fraud.
It's two Americas, man. It's two Americas out here.
My accountant did call me. It was like, I watched the episode. Deal is right. It's a federal problem. Stop complaining.
It is federal problem.
It is a federal problem.
No, I know, because I know a lot of niggas that went to jail for it. I know. I didn't take a class. I just know niggas went to jail for fucking with mail. I know that. Sometimes you can just read evidence. That's what happens. You know what nobody tells you about starting something new is that the hardest part isn't the idea. It is everything after the idea. I had this podcast concept in my head, and suddenly I'm asking myself questions I never had to ask before. Like, who's building the website, and who's handling the money, and who's figuring out shipping if I want to sell merch. That list never stops going, and it can swallow you whole if you let it. What you need is a partner who already knows all of the answers, and for millions of businesses, that partner is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform that's behind 10% of all e-commerce in the United States of America. Household names and brands just getting started, all alike. It's the same thing. You get a design studio with ready-to-use templates, AI tools that write your product description, marketing campaigns, that find your customers, and 24/7 expert support whenever you get stuck. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing cha-ching. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/uncertain. When last we met, we had one of the things I love about doing this, as opposed to, I love the other things I do, but I love this specifically because we're all people who have opinions, and we oftentimes talk about them, and it's not, we don't tie it up in a neat bow. We were talking about Jeff Metcalfe, and full disclosure, he is Austin Metcalfe's father. And he was killed by Carmelo Anthony. He's the father of the young man killed by Carmelo Anthony. And he went on, a media tour, basically. He went on a media tour. And he was talking about the jury. Here's what he said.
What is your judgment of all these people in the media that have spoken on the case?
Well, they're just like anybody else. They don't know me. They don't know Hunter, Austin. They don't know Carmelo. They're looking for their 15 minutes of fame or their clickbait or their clicks. They're looking to monetize the death of my son. I really wish they wouldn't speak about at all. Because one, if that woman said that, she has no idea about the facts of the case, but she wants to spew her public opinion on a platform that reaches millions of people every day. Do I have that platform? No, but today I have a little platform to say what I'd like. She is completely wrong. And if they want to take me and call me and ask me to be on The View with them, I would gladly fly me up there and let me talk to all of you.
And the thing that I find repulsive is, yes, you are a grieving father, and no one. I don't think that anybody can do anything to assuage that grief, and I would never assail that. I don't know how you would react. I do know that when Bill Cosby lost his son to a racist guy who wanted to kill a black guy, there was not this kind of diatribe. But we're not all equally the same. The thing I was the most repulsed by is how he managed to meld racism and grief at the same time. What the fuck does people not knowing their father have to do with filling out juror forms? Like, and then he said, when he said they don't know how to fill the form, they don't know how to not to be biased. How the fuck do you know what they said on that form? How is he privy to that information? How does the father of the victim know what potential jurors said on their form? And the fact that you believe that black people cannot be fair, that only you can be fair, tells you a lot. You sent me something. We argued about this, and you sent me something about the voir dire, which is where you vet jurors and how they disqualify people. What did it say about black people?
So the interesting thing, right, is that like with that case, that they released, like the DA released like kind of some information.
Yes,
that was kind of
right,
and they asked a bunch of racial based
right.
questions, but they also have I just want to bring up the term. So like they have preemptory strikes,
right,
which are done for no reason,
right.
And so there were actually like 3 black potential jurors
right.
that all worked in the school system. And then the prosecutor struck them all out, saying if you worked in the school system, you couldn't be
right.
So, like the difficulty there too is I was doing some research last night, and these like these preemptive strikes, like are disproportionately used against black people.
72% of the strikes, because there is this belief, and it's really based on bias, that black people see black people and automatically suspend their right to be human and fair. When we know that the vast number of black men who are in prison, black people in prison, were sent there by black jurors, black judges, black prosecutors. Like who this is Fannie Willis.
So I am a prosecutor that I don't care if you're black, if you're white, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, if you're rich or you're poor. I don't care who your daddy is. If you violate the law in this county, you are going to be prosecuted.
A black prosecutor in Atlanta, one of the blackest cities in the country. We have Tisha James
out of New York.
Who do you think Puffy went to jail behind? Bill Cosby has gone. I remember when Kamala Harris was running for president, one of the knocks on her, and one of the things, the ideas that I had something to do with it, admittedly, and had to apologize for, was that she was a prosecutor who locked up black men. So black people have no problem sending black people to prison. Black people have no problem meting out justice on black people. What I found insulting about what he said is only one group has the ability to be just. And that seemed disingenuous to me. And the other thing, we argued about this, the other thing I found insulting, I think that the reason that judge put that gag order on everybody was because he knew that if that hadn't gotten out, if that man's mindset, if those things had gotten out, then there would have been a suit for change of venue.
Yep.
They would have made sure that the jury was more balanced. So there was a reason. That dude, as soon as this trial was over, he went on he had 3 hours worth of shit to say. He's been on Megyn Kelly. And the thing about Megyn Kelly had on Russell Brand, who admitted he had sex with a 16-year-old. And you're talking to me about what the fuck is fair? Megyn Kelly got fired basically from NBC because she was a racist. She thought Santa Claus, like all the shit that she's done, it seems disingenuous to have people like that enter the race forward. I will say this: I can both understand that he's a grieving parent, and understand that grief may take forms that I don't necessarily understand. But that man espoused the same racist tropes that anybody does with little or no provocation. And we were talking yesterday, and you were like, he's a father. You know who we didn't hear from? The parents of the child, the 1-year-old child that was gunned down by the police officer. They might have some shit to say. We don't hear anything from them. And it's because it's for effect. I can both hold the idea in my hand. I am not saying that Carmelo Anthony did or didn't do anything. I am not saying who is guilty or innocent. I am saying the optics of a jury that is made specifically up of people where you deny people the right to get in because you believe they can't be fair, and you believe only fairness looks like you. Fair outcomes look like fair skin, apparently. I dismiss that notion out of hand when I know for sure that black people send black people to jail all over the country, and that notion, even in the jury picking process, biases introduce themselves.
Yeah.
I also find it very interesting that he was talking about how black people don't know how to be unbiased, right? When he, in his rant on social media, was being very biased.
Yes.
He was saying things that were stereotypes, they were not true, and he was stating them as if they were facts.
Exactly. Two people that propagate those tropes. When he said the thing about black father, and you said this yesterday, what'd you say about, he said something about black father and women are writers, when you said they don't know their fathers, 70-some% of them know their fathers.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, no, I was saying that the kid who basically stabbed his son had a father.
Was that
why
trial?
Why are you saying y'all don't even have y'all fathers?
Right.
I'm like, are you paying attention to the case, bro?
Right.
Right.
It just...
Like Trayvon Martin, they rolled out this trope. Trayvon Martin was going to see his father.
Yeah.
The thing that's so disconcerting and so ironic to me is that 70%, the CDC did this exhaustive study, and it talked about black people black fathers participating in their children's lives. And they do it at a higher rate than virtually every other demographic. But every time you get mad, you get to roll out these racist tropes. Even racists get to say it.
Yep.
Like Megyn Kelly got fired. But basically, they couldn't explain her racism. And she's the one who's interviewing it. You talking to me about crime, and you interviewing a pedophile.
Yeah.
Russell Brand admitted to having, and you acted like I've never seen. There was a decided difference between the way Gayle King interviewed somebody who was suspected of a pedophile and the way she did.
That's why I'm like, look at R. Kelly and Gayle King
Right.
interview,
Yeah,
and
we
you
remember
can
that
tell
one well.
who
Right.
can and cannot be biased
Right.
at times, yo.
Right.
One person is like, I'm fighting for my life. The other one is like, yeah, so I did a 16-year-old.
Oh,
That's
okay.
interesting.
Right.
That's very
Yeah.
interesting, Brant.
Right. Right.
Also, two things. One, every time you mention that CDC study, it's great, but I just imagine like some kid getting bullied at school and their dad being like, "Tell him about the CDC study." No. Show him.
No, he didn't. No, he would have shot. Well, he did. My mother said, "I'm not really proud of this." My mother and father, when it came to bullies, they said if God wanted you to fight fair, He wouldn't have invented bricks and dark corners. So I think.
Wow.
And then also Tony Shook, who actually was like Carmelo's lawyer in the
Right.
case, he actually used to work with the prosecutor. And then additionally, you brought up the Botham Jean case
Right.
earlier. He was actually the attorney of the Botham Jean case,
He got off Amber Geiger.
which is crazy. 10 years for that versus 30 years.
Yo,
for this.
so for those of you who don't know, Botham John was at his apartment. Amber Geiger was a police officer, right? Went to the wrong apartment, shot a guy there, goes to trial, and is found guilty and gets 10 years. And what is interesting is it was a black judge who did it. A black judge who did it. A black female judge. And that female judge is a member of her sorority, Delta Sigma Theta. Mm-hmm. That female judge got off the stand and handed her a Bible and prayed for her. The idea that we can't be biased, I don't think that being just is the enemy of being inhumane. You can be just and humane. She sentenced that woman, but she still was compassionate towards her. And I think that this idea that we are craven, that we cannot met our justice, I believe Bill Cosby did it. I believe Jussie Smollett was lying.
He was.
I did.
Motherfucker was lying, man.
He was lying.
I'm not. So the idea that only one side can be biased when the unbiased, when that is the very reason we have to have these stipulations in place, because they've proven that they couldn't be, is why we're having this situation. My argument is that it should have never even had the optics. You should have known what the outcome of this would be. And the fact that you would not even make sure that you took even the potential of somebody making these arguments away. Making these arguments. The fact that you have no black, and then you have a father going, well, they can't be unbiased. And then the other thing is, when he went on a View and he talked to Sunny Hostin is a federal prosecutor. She's prosecuted all kinds of people. Sunny Hostin has locked up a lot of black people. She locked up a lot of white people.
Right.
The one thing you can't tell me about people like that is they can't be fair. If you look at the prosecutors in Detroit, the prosecutors in Chicago, the prosecutors in Baltimore, those are black people who send black people to jail all the time. You think, and if you look at where crime is dropping in the Chicagos, in the Montgomery, Alabamas, in the Baltimores, in the DCs, because they have these black mayors who are determined to do something about crime, but in a way that's productive.
And then, Jasmine, you kind of mentioned too, and I think this is worth bringing up in the Botham Jean case, that like black families are always having to kind of forgive and like.
Well, it's not that they have to forgive, but they do.
Yeah, but absolutely.
And they tend to offer it rather quickly, even when they are the victims. Right. And I think it's worth mentioning because even when we're thinking about this Carmelo Anthony case, it is as if people think that we cannot see and understand the pain that a father must be going through. But at the same time, we can also understand the other side of it and this unfair sentence. And you talk about the Botham Jean case, right?
Yeah.
The fact that this chick only got 10 years when she went to the wrong house. This dude was minding his own business.
Eating ice cream.
Eating ice
In
cream.
his
in
drawers.
his underwear.
In his drawers.
Yes,
Eating ice
and she
cream.
If you're a
killed him.
grown black man and you can eat ice cream, you a bad motherfucker anyway.
But look,
in your house, you in your drawers.
And do you know what they tried to bring up? That he was smoking weed.
Exactly.
Now,
In his
what
house.
does that have to do? He's in his house.
Why
minding
else
his
was he
own-
in his
That's what
underwear
I'm
eating
saying.
ice
In his
cream?
drawers.
That's my point.
What else would you want to smoke
Any
weed?
black dude you could be grown and eat dairy, you a bad motherfucker.
So yeah, I'm
You a
jealous.
bad motherfucker.
That's,
But you could never do
That's why I
that.
could never do that.
Botham Jean's mother forgave her.
Of
Her
course.
brother forgave her. His dad forgave her.
Right. What are you, Little Mermaid? What the fuck are you? Under the sea?
That's why
I
I'm
was
like,
just about to
say
I'm
crab.
like, clear your throat.
Under the sea.
Werewolf Kermit. It's like, oh, you changing before us.
But I'm trying to clear his throat for him.
I think that these tropes,
Sorry.
that I despise that what happened to that man. I despise that he lost his child to a violent situation. I despise that we live in a country where that's far too common. But I also despise the fact that in those circumstances, people far too often reach to racism instead of understanding.
I was about to say, I'm very sad that the grief made his racism flare up.
Now
Like, it was like
I bet he said shit like that
couldn't
all the
wait.
time.
all
I
the
bet
time.
it
That's
it
what I'm
was too
saying.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't become again. I don't think that type of stuff makes people racist. I believe they are, and then it just
exposes them.
flares up.
Yes.
Where you like motherfucker, just like, hey man,
And he couldn't wait to share it.
couldn't.
He could not wait to explode.
And let me tell you something, Stephen A. Smith, of course, and I don't mean to do this. You think I do this on purpose? I do not. I do not. This is what Stephen A. Smith said about Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony murdered Austin Metcalf. There is no other way to slice it. We're arguing and going off and expressing hell and fury over the conviction of a guy who acknowledged he admitted he committed the crime. But 39 people get shot on Juneteenth, and we're not hearing anything. Why is that?
And I would just like to say, fuck you.
Here.
Like I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, do you understand that a lot of people were convicted of things that turned out to be different? Do you know a lot of things got the air because they were under the term legality? They got to get away with things. Slavery was legal. There were a lot of things that be inherently wrong that were legal, but that doesn't make them right. I am not for 1 minute telling you I think I know the ins and out of that case. I am saying that when I have a father that says this, when there's an absence of juries, of representation, when we know how the voir dire and the jury selection system works, it gives me questions. And in times like this, America is best served when it answers those questions before it's asked. That's all. Even the optics of it. But they ain't even got to pretend like they care about it. I honestly believe that father, that judge knew if that father said that before that trial, we'd have had an entirely different circumstance. I believe that. So Eddie Glaude is a Princeton professor, one of the brightest people I've ever seen on TV. But I had a problem with the run up to the election with Hillary Clinton and I've said this on the show, Hillary Clinton and Trump and some of the things Eddie Glaude said about that. He said this.
I do not love America, and I never have, especially now. Really?
Yeah. I grew up in Mississippi.
You live a beautiful life.
Yeah, I worked hard for it. And, I think it's important for me to say this. When I was, my dad was the second African-American hired at the post office in Pascagoula, Mississippi, afforded the opportunity to move us to the other side of town. I had my Tonka truck outside, playing with those old Tonka trucks with my new friend, and his dad came out and said, stop playing with that N-word. And at that moment, America told me what it thought about me, and I had to go inside, and my parents had to teach me how to survive it. So the question becomes, from whence the expectation, given my formation? And part of what I'm trying to say with that sentence, Stephanie, is that I don't believe in the idolatry of the state. I'm not interested in loving abstractions or things that are so morally dubious that, what we've been talking about. The power of the country is in the people. It's in we the people. It's in everyday folk. That's where my love is, close to the ground. And it's not just with my family, but it's with all the other folks. Ralph Ellison says the most powerful thing about democracy is it's at its best is a disinterested form of love. I want the best for you, even though if I don't know you.
And so he was in that little milieu of where people were blaming the Nina Turners and the Killer Mikes and all of these people who had contributed to what we now enjoy. But he sent a book to my apartment in New York, and I've been reading it, and I watched him, and I'm not sure what this is on, but I watched him talking to Stephanie Rule, and he said this. And it was the first time I'd ever asked myself, honestly, that question. When he said, I don't love America and I never have, I know that I love this country. But if you ask me why I love this country, I couldn't tell you. Describe to you, if I said, when Eddie Glaude said that he didn't love America, the first thing that Stephanie Rule said was, but you got a good life. Not, how could you think that? Because she couldn't honestly ask that. I don't care who you are in this country right now. If you're black and you're a black person, or even a person of color, or anybody that's outside what you believe matters here. I believe that if you hooked everybody up outside of that group, and you asked them if they loved America, and conversely, if America loved them, and you hooked them up to a truth measuring machine, they would have to honestly say they don't know. But I do think that how is it that your love of country can be beyond circumspection, but there are people who don't know if they love their parents, or don't know if they love their siblings, or don't know if they love somebody who they married. So if you can have questions about that, why don't you have the ability to have questions about your dynamic with your country? Do you really believe I know for sure, I can say this for sure. I know for sure that I love my mother. I cannot tell you for certain she loved me. And I feel like that about America. We were taught from the time we could walk. Even right now, in a few days, we'll celebrate the 4th of July. Well, we'll lie to each other and go, this is the day we all celebrate our independence. But that's not true, and you know it. So the only way we can all get along is I pretend like you're not lying to me.
But I also think that that speaks to the tremendous power of forgiveness that we have in this country, because we know how this country historically has treated us, and yet we love and don't understand why we love it. You know, I think back to, you know, what happened in Charleston, right? When that kid walked in the church and shot them as they were praying, and they forgave him. It's moments of, and again, I think you're absolutely right. If you were to sit someone down and ask them, tell me why you love this country, I think they would grapple with, well, I really don't know. I just do. And I think it's something that is ingrained in us from the time we're young. You have to learn the Pledge of Allegiance, and you learn patriotism, and you learn that you have to do all these things, even though you don't really understand the why of it.
Right. And I think it's disingenuous for somebody to believe that we don't at least have questions. We have fought in every single war this country's ever had. And at the same time we were fighting those wars, we were fighting for equality. We were fighting to be free. We were fighting to be treated as human beings. At the very same time, Eddie Glaude, who is a resident of Mississippi, is telling you his Tonka truck story. A 1-year-old boy was shot by the police because his parents were supposed to be stealing diapers. So at the very least, I think it's disingenuous to believe that most black people don't at least have questions about our dynamic with this country. Read to me, we talked about this yesterday. Read to me in the Bible where it talks about love. Read that to me.
It says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres.
Tell me, is that the way this country's been treated? This country's treated black people? If you believe that that is the truth, then I'd have to cede that land to you, that I did to you. When you describe to me love, that isn't the way our experience has gone here. And so it would at least enable us. There have been people who loved God, who are faithful people, and something makes them question their faith. Tragic events makes you question their faith. I can tell you I love this country, but if you ask me why, I could not articulate it. And that, to me, is a dilemma that we should face instead of pretending like I don't have the right to feel that way.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I think a lot of black people, though, who do love this country like somebody who has a terrible mom. It's the only mom I have.
Right.
So what the fuck am I supposed to
do?
But I have more of an issue when America has the gall to ask black people why they don't love it. It's kind of like a deadbeat dad being like, where my card at? Nigga, where was you at? What?
Right.
Like, hold
or
on.
an abusive relationship.
It is.
Right? And you can't
I'll
figure
ask
out
the
why.
question here, sir.
Why she won't leave.
Yeah.
Why won't you leave this man who keeps beating you? He loves me. Does he love you?
Right. But he's the only guy that I have. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, of course, if I don't know if black people had another nation somewhere else on this planet where we have already been gone and been like, fuck it. What y'all got going on over here, this clearly is not for us. Y'all don't want us here.
Right.
And I don't like how the country acts like, oh, it was just slavery. And then they just gave us everything they said they was going to give us. No, they didn't do that. Then it was Jim Crow. Then it was, now the police brutality. Then it was crack. Right. Then it was like, so why wouldn't we have trust issues?
Yeah.
Why would I be like?
If you said, if you took us and our dynamic with this country in the confines of a personal relationship, a man and a woman, and you told your friends everything this person that you were supposed to love and supposed to love you was doing to you, your friends would say you were in an abusive relationship. They would say it. And I just refuse to cede the notion that we don't at least have the right to ask how you feel about me. I've learned a long time ago, and we talk about this all the time, I never ask if somebody loves me. I only ask if I love them. If I love them, whatever they feel about me is irrelevant. And that's how I feel about this country. I think I am not equipped to ask this country or to ask people how they feel about me. It's whatever I feel about them that I act on. But I think it's disingenuous to pretend like black people don't have a reason to have questions about our relationship with this country, and it's with us. Black people have died for you and bled for you and sacrificed for you and ran for you. And at every turn, you told us that we weren't quite equal. We weren't quite the same. So the question is, and somebody said this a long time ago, not how I feel about you, but how you feel about me. And if you abuse and neglect and deny something long enough, you run out of love. All of a sudden, you roommates. You know what I mean?
Damn, that's eye-opening.
You've been so everybody. Bill Maher was a friend of mine for a very long time, and I say this all the time. I still think he's a brilliant comic. There used to be things that I could abide when I was younger and he was younger because I didn't, because he's an older white man. I'm older. He's an older white guy. I'm an older black guy, and we're going to where we're going. But some of the things he says, I just can't reconcile in my head anymore. I think he sounds. There's no discernible difference between the way he sounds and any other conservative firebrand sounds. But when he was talking about Obama's library, and he said this.
It cost $850 million.
Yeah.
I don't understand why progressives like this. Are you, anybody here in this audience planning to go to the Obama presidential library?
Sure. There you go.
Really?
Bill, come on.
What a bunch of fucking liars you are. You're not going to the Obama library.
And I originally said, and I've said on my radio show, I didn't ever hear him talk about any other president's library to this extent. And Alex, you rightfully pointed out that he had made other arguments about the waste of presidents having these monuments to arrogance.
And he mentioned like George W. Bush and propaganda.
Right. But when he asked his audience who plans to go, and they were like, we all do, and he called them liars. I think that he doesn't understand, or either he's obtuse or willfully ignorant. He does not seem to understand the impact that Obama's presidency had on not just us, but the world. Those people, I'm going to a library, and I never went to a library before, ever. But I'm going to see, and I'm going to take my grandchildren. I'm going because with everything that is happening, with Trump trying to remove black history and black historical figures, whether they be military or just civil rights, removing everything, this monument may be the only thing that ever proves that Barack Obama existed.
Really?
This monument may be the only thing that showed that this man, black man, became president. The way that they're removing everything, he doesn't seem to understand, and I think a lot of people don't seem to understand, that this was the first time we saw that America might be able to keep its promise. I remember Michelle Obama saying it's the first time she ever been proud of America. And what he did, even with this event, even with this library, was significant because he didn't make it an archival retrospective of him. He wanted it open to,
the community.
To the community.
But that flies in the face of what Bill Maher is talking about, because it's not a waste of money, right? It's not a monument erected just for Obama. He's the first president to say, this is not about me, it's about the community. So we will have, hiking trails. We'll have an athletic facility. We will have a kitchen for the community to come in. It will be community-based and not totally based on him.
Mm-hmm. Also, low-key, if you look at the building, do you ever watch The Fifth Element?
I did watch The Fifth Element.
It kind of looks like one of the rocks from The Fifth Element. It's like fire, water, the Obama Library.
Yeah.
I think they sell Afro Sheen there too.
Yeah. Pick yourself up on your way.
It's gonna have a beauty shop too. I just think it's significant that he made a place where black people will hike.
It's hilarious.
I just think
it's true.
I have a dream.
So June 26th through 27th, Wise Guys, Salt Lake City, Utah. July 10th through the 12th, Houston Improv in Houston, Texas, one of my very favorite places to play. And of course, July 17th and 18th, Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco, California. It is just an institution. I'd like to say that my book, Charlie's Boy, An Ode to a Black Father, is available on Amazon Books, and it is available right now for pre-sale, and it'll be released on October 8th or 6th? 6th. So I've written more books than I've ever read. So thank you for tuning in to Uncertain. I'm D.O. Hughley. I'll see you next week.